The look on your face says it all. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to our channel. It's TSF Entertainment. I'm joined tonight by my brother in arms, Mr. Jack of Jordans. He dressed today
Year
to give us
was
a
good.
sermon. He's going to give us a good preaching. uh, I'm also
That's not the
joined by
word.
our other co-host tonight, Mr. Soul. What's up, bro?
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on?
Man, ain't nothing much. And we are here to talk about Bel-Air. It's season 1, episode 10. What was the name of the episode?
Where to?
Where
Where to
to?
or
That's
something
right.
like that?
Where
Yeah.
to? All right. So it's our season finale, guys. What y'all think?
I'm gonna let y'all start off before I fire off.
I like the episode. I mean, I didn't get a chance to talk behind the scenes. I personally like the episode. Um, I'm excited to see where we're going forward with this. It was entertaining. It was entertaining, man. I think that there was moments we're gonna talk about. So
Yeah, there's a
I
lot.
enjoyed the episode personally.
There's a
I
lot
wish
of
some other things
moments.
happened.
Oh, definitely a lot of moments that we're gonna talk about.
Yeah.
I was a little irritated about a couple of things in the episode, but it wasn't season finale for me. It wasn't season finale for me, and I think we talked about that last week. That these showrunners and these writing rooms, they're giving us lackluster season finale. I need a little bit more action or something to pop off. We had other episodes that had a little bit more action in it than I um thought we should have had. All right, saving the best for last.
Here's what I give you. It's like it has some type of sentimental value. It does, but come on now, who the hell are we kidding? Like, this is like at the end of the day, it's all bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like it holds sentimental value because yeah, he got to meet with his father, this and the other. But who didn't see, like, to me personally, this is kind of like the episode with to hell with him. Like, this is the episode that we just kind of just saw coming. And it was a weak season finale when it comes down to Bel-Air and the darkness would come out in Bel-Air. I hate the role that they put Michael Ealy in dealing with Reed. I hate the role and how he's setting up for Vivian to pretty much see some type of sexual or some of intimacy with this guy beyond just the painting. I hate that shit. I hate the role that they put in Vi in.
Talk
I
your
hate that
talk.
shit. I hate the role they putting Jeffrey in. At the end of the day, I hate that shit. Like, it's just dumb. I hate the role they put Carlton in. At the end of it, I hate that shit. Like, it's just like, to me, I'm not gonna be critical.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be critical. I hate this as much as I hate Carl Malone. Like, I did not like this episode, but I'm not gonna be critical.
You sure?
Right? All right, I gotta be critical, right? So we started off. We started off right. We going straight to what is it, like a governor's ball? What'd you say it is, CG?
It's the governor's reception. It's an art council celebration for extraordinary artists who inspire us all. It was honoring Vivian Banks, and we find out that this is her first event since she accepted the Neiman Artistic Fellowship.
Right, which was cool and everything. And you see the family is having a good time. What caught my interest the most out of this scene was the interaction between, is her name Ivy,
Ivy,
and Hillary. And when Jazz pulled up, that really what caught my attention the most. Now, I could be off guard with this, but just because they trying to make my man Jazz look like a slut whore, I was bothered by that. What am I saying wrong? Hey, Ivy, don't poison me. And she, I hope that you do. And Hillary looking like, bitch, you better back the fuck. Yeah, like, I was that it started my piss offer tree.
All right.
Yeah, I'm saying. Like,
one thing I liked about this
right
thing. One thing I liked about this
right
scene.
there. What y'all feel about that?
One thing I liked about this scene was I liked how the family was working the room. I like how the family was kind of working the crowd.
Oh, I
It
love that part.
shows that they are they know when to pull together when they are at high society type events and around other affluent people. They blended in so well. Um, and I liked how Uncle Phil was kind of watching from a distance and watching Vivian work the room. You know, you you didn't see any jealousy or you didn't see any resentment. You know, he just lost his dream. Now he's watching hers pursue hers. So it was very nice to see Uncle Phil was, not harboring any regret about his decision he had made in the last episode. Um the scene with him and Will was cool. I don't know what this is that they're trying. I mean, I guess the show is centered around Will. Whereas I originally thought it was centered around the Banks family per se, but just
Mhm.
like in the original, it's centered around Will. So Will's the talking point. He's the focal point all the time. The painting and everything. You kind of see Carlton was kind of like, Will gets his own painting now. You know,
Yeah.
I like the comment that Ashley made. Well, maybe you need to stay closer to the throne because Will's
Yeah,
kind of
I like
easing
that.
on in
I
here
did like
and,
that. I
and
did
getting his
like that.
thing. The scene with Hillary is just like what we were predicting last week's recap was that Hillary, she got an interest in jazz, but she's not trying to let it, she's not trying to make it official. She's not trying to be public with it. He's her little secret, and eventually Jazz is going to get tired of being my little secret. Because the minute he started flirting with Ivy, she kind of you saw the expression all over her face like, bitch, back up. you know. So I'm curious to see where that's going to go. And of
But
course,
I like that for Jazz though, because I think that's Jazz needs that in his character to not just be stuck on trying to mess with Hillary. Like, because back in the day, Jazz, that's what he was trying to holler at everybody. So, Jazz being a little flirty or whatever, I think that was a good character development for him. And it also worked in his favor because I mean, as we'll talk about, you know, he was closing deals later. So sometimes you gotta play the game a little bit. And I think Jazz did that.
I
Another
ain't mad at
thing,
that. I ain't mad at that as they, put Jazz kind of like in the perspective of the old Jazz. But I was kind of mad at the way they made Hillary seem like I don't know.
I
I
feel
guess
that
it
way
is just
too, Kiwan.
yeah, that's what I was
I
thinking
feel the
too.
same way. I think she did sleep with him because he
but
was
but
flirting with old girl.
But what made me even further mad during this scene is that everybody was, or the other chick was asking for Reed. Who's the light skin? Where's the light skinned fellow with the green blue eyes and this and another? It was
Oh
more
yeah,
like
Uncle.
a edge towards, you know what I'm saying? It's like selling Vivian the fantasy. Where's the fine dude at with the? I don't know. I feel some type of way about that scene.
Can I
Well,
say this real quick though?
Hmm.
I mean, she got these paintings done pretty fast. Like, I mean, these are some pretty that was kind of like tripping me out. Like, when did she have time to get this painting of Will up there? And you saw some of the other paintings in the background she had of other people. And I was like, we moving fast here. Like, we moving fast, and she getting a lot of work done. I hate when we jump time, and there's no reference to
and
where
we
we
don't
are.
know that we've jumped time. Yeah,
Yeah, we jump in time, and I was like, but it's TV, so I'll roll with it. But
I'm
I
gonna
just thought
press
that was interesting
rewind
that
on
we were.
you. I'm gonna press rewind on you and just go into a little petty moment. I'm not gonna spend too much detail in it. It looks like one of the paintings that was in the fellowship. Well, the event
Mhm,
looks like one of the ones that was actually in the mansion that was hanging on the wall. Because the
mhm,
reason why I took notice to it was when Vi came down, she referenced the painting, and it looked like one of the paintings that was at the gallery.
all right.
Second one is I feel like some of those paintings that Vivian were working on, um, it, it is inferred by Uncle Phil's comment when he came in that night and said, "Are you coming to bed? Or are you gonna sleep in here again?" And she was like, "I got to get these paintings ready
She been getting
for the
busy.
fellowship." So I'm assuming that she's been working overtime to try to get these paintings ready. So That's the way I took that.
He definitely been working
So,
over.
But she been moving fast though. She
Yeah,
got like
in a lot of ways,
let
maybe.
me
But
let me ask
Picasso.
y'all the question. Let me ask y'all the question that the pastor asked Uncle Phil. What y'all think is next for Yamacraw?
I think I said it in the chat last
He
episode
asked
y'all
him, he
did.
said, so what's next, Yamacraw? So what y'all think is next for Yamacraw?
I think he gonna chill out for a minute, and then I think he gonna try to go at Judge Robertson. I mean, I think they teased it a little bit. I think he gonna see some corruption that he gonna want to get down with and say, "Hey, we gotta get this out of here." I'm assuming old boy's gonna win the DA gig, and I
Or if
think
he
he gonna
just
go for
don't do nothing
judge.
but get the get back. I was thinking that too. I was thinking
Yeah.
that instead of going after the DA, maybe I'm just gonna go ahead and sit on this judge's chair. So maybe he's gonna make a run for a judge's seat. Um, I don't know. And then part of me feels like I think he's gonna sit down for a minute because I think he's going to become, now that he has all this free time in his hand, to see what's actually going on in his family. Whereas we thought it was going to be Vivian that was going to be the one to address what's going on with Ashley. I think he's going to get involved in the situation with Hillary. He's definitely going to get involved. If he don't get involved in anything else, he's definitely going to get involved with this. What's going on with Carlton? Because Carlton was like he's been getting ready to go backslide again. Just like we said last week, we didn't think that was the end of Cokehead Carlton. So we think that he's going to come back out to show his ugly head again. And I think that Uncle Phil is going to pay more attention to his behavior, his erratic behavior, and I think that's going to be a pretty deep storyline for them. And then in the process, he may just try to pursue a judge's chair.
Yeah.
So we get past Yamacraw and we get past the pastor talking. Then we see Will and Lisa talking, which I think is a pivotal conversation through this whole episode, because Will admits that pretty much say that I love you, this and other. Me personally,
Too soon?
I get. I'm not gonna be critical of it. I'm not gonna be critical of it.
Too soon.
I see what they're trying to do, like what they're trying to do as far as pushing the narrative between Will and Lisa and creating kind of like this youthful, I don't know, not necessarily a rendezvous, but to expand, further than what they have going on. But
it's my first love. It's my first love because he even said it.
Like it's too soon. Like, who be kidding? Let's cut the bullshit. So he's in a situation where he got arrested, went to jail, and this and the other. He explained to you the story, and you still like, oh, well, you lied to me, and this and the other, while even understanding what the hell is going on. Get besides just like you way too deep into yourself talking this crazy shit. Like he wasn't facing some time. Like his way out wasn't pulling strings in order to get his way out, and went beyond themselves to escape the rules of the law for him to do what he do. Without all this shit happening, he wouldn't even know you, lady.
So the way I have broken this down to make sense of it. One, I'm a little irritated with Beulah because one, it's too soon for you to think that he has that type of commitment to you and loyalty to you. Yeah, y'all messing around or whatever the case may be, but again, this is not just about him keeping a secret from you. There was a reason why he had to keep the secret from you, and it wasn't because he wanted to lie to you and get in your panties. It was because he felt like the more people that knew about why he was really there, the more danger he was going to put himself in and his family in. That's one. Second, I think what they're trying to communicate with her reaction to all this is not so much as the fact that he lied to her. I think she's more so hurt because he didn't trust her enough to tell her. So I think in her mind, she feels like, listen, I thought that we had this connection. I thought that we had, this thing that you should have been able to trust me with this. I think that's what she's more so upset about, is the fact that she feels he didn't trust her enough to tell her this. That's why she's acting. But a little smart comments and you in your feelings, you now know the reason, the real reason why he didn't. Let that shit go, and we're going to either repair this thing, rebuild this thing, or we're going to go on. But him chasing after her and begging her for time, I ain't feeling that.
You muted. Like you know, you're going in. So
Where you going in?
Yeah.
But CG, nobody knew because he never told anybody. Like Carlton didn't even know. You know, like only the family members that knew was on a need to know basis. So why do you think that
It was important
because
enough.
we did this that and you told me that your name was Beulah, that you felt privileged enough to know this situation, especially with your dad running against my uncle who got me out of this situation.
All the more reason why I need to keep my mouth closed, because you might have
Exactly.
a
Right. That's why I don't
You might have loose
understand.
lips.
I'm like, for Lisa to be so smart, they made her come off like
thirsty.
she was clueless. And then they made
she
Will
was in
come
her
off
feelings
like
too
that.
much.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
in the feelings.
And they made Will come off
Because
like
I still
that.
didn't understand. I was like, why are we this mad? I was like, why are we this mad about this? Like, okay, she caught him. She busted him out. She didn't even get a chance to let old boy explain anything. She just was angry and just stayed mad. And I'm like, keep the lie alive. It ain't that serious. Like that's how I look at it. Like it wasn't that serious, but it's part of the story, I guess. It's part of the story.
You know why I looked at it? I looked at that the same way because I'm just like, it's just so many different ways and so many different angles we could have went at this. Besides that, okay, yeah, you lied to me, and you know this, that, and the other. It could have been an explanation. It could have been like it's just so many different ways we just could have went about this. It was just kind of like, so you admitted some things that possibly could have put you in prison, and I probably wouldn't even know you. So now this is where we at with it.
Right.
She's definitely, I agree, keep it cute. She's definitely coming across very selfish and immature. She's making it all about her. And at this point, you should have known from the beginning that this wasn't just about you thing. This man shows up in the middle of the semester. He turns Carlton's world upside down. So you have to imagine that it's more than just this relationship that you start to develop. Part of me faults Will for this because he pressed upon her too soon. But I don't think that Will was expecting them to go down this path that they ended up going down, because at that point Will was a little vulnerable because he was on the outs with Carlton. Carlton wasn't making him feel welcome. The people at the school wasn't making him feel welcome. So, Lisa was the only one that kind of showed him some hospitality. And so it kind of drew him in closer to her, and they end up developing feelings, lust, whatever you want to call it. They end up becoming involved. But I think that it was too soon for her to expect that he would reveal a secret like that involves his whole family. If it was just about him and him alone, then it's one thing. But you know that it's connected to his family. You know that your father is 12. You could have loose lips and accidentally or inadvertently mentioned it, and now the cat's out the bag.
Yep. To me, that's what she should have understood. Like,
Yeah, she should have had more understanding to that.
yeah, your uncle is going against my dad right now. It's everybody's tense. Like, you don't he don't really know you like that. Like, she wants to think, oh, I've been open to you and I told you everything, but he still don't really know you like that. Another thing is he don't know how you're gonna react. That might be another reason why, hey, I don't really want to give her everything right now because I don't want her to hate me or be mad at me or whatever. So I'm gonna just hold off a little bit before I give her everything.
Right.
Because dudes think like that, like, I don't want to tell you everything right away. He don't know how she's gonna react. And sure enough, she showed exactly how she would have reacted
She
when she
did.
found out. So
Yes,
that's
she
why he
did.
ain't tell her ass. Like,
Yep. And the thing about it is, though, he may have developed feelings for her or whatever the case may be, but sometimes the best solution to a problem like that is a little time. Let her have some breathing room. You need some breathing room, because right now, this wasn't what happened in this episode proved that this wasn't the time for you to try to address this when you have another issue that is very critical, that's affecting your life. You end up standing her up on the date because of it. Like, you might need to focus on getting everything right in your family life before you go to try to fix this situation, because you ain't gonna be able to fix both of them at the same time.
Right.
So we kind of touched on it a little bit already about Ivy and Hillary. They seem to be rekindling an old friendship. Seems like Ivy is on. I didn't really get a clear understanding of what it is that Ivy does. Is she a social influencer too?
That's what I got. I feel like she's just an influencer. You know, that's her thing. Yeah.
Because it looks like she was doing some modeling, so maybe that's her thing. She's a model or something.
You know, I like when a brand wants to, advertise with you,
social
shit like that.
Influencer.
Well, anyway, they're having a conversation about the whole influencer house and the situation that Hillary's in on the 50K and whatever. And Hillary is pretty much telling her, like, look, we got to keep this hush because I hadn't told anybody about it. And of course, her mom walks up in the middle of that comment and she kind of plays it off about, my love life boundaries. And then at that point, Jazz pull up on the scene. He's trying to be charismatic. He's flirting or whatever the case may be. And, you can instantly see Ivy sizing them up, like, I got me some plans for the night. And Hillary's reaction right there said everything that we were saying about her last week. Her reaction, her facial expression said everything that we were saying about her last week, is that she wanted that for herself, but she's not letting Jazz know that, what's up. So she treating him like, you my little thing on the side, and I feel like that's the only reason why she slept with him.
I think that's exactly why she slept with him.
That's exactly why she slept with him.
That's what I think.
You're muted again, Dave.
Me too. My bad. Me too. I think that's exactly why she slept with him, because she just felt as though that she need to make her move and plant her seed, I guess.
I think she felt threatened. I felt she felt like, hey,
competition.
It was like, this girl, she a bigger influence than I am.
She got more followers than I am.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that she said it, or maybe thinking that, but you know how women are. Some women are. They look at another woman that, oh, she's prettier than me, or she has long hair, or she's light skinned, or she's this and that. Wait. So I feel like she instantly was threatened in that situation. And I'm gonna bring him back here, and I'm gonna put this on him real quick. And he ain't gonna have eyes for her. He's gonna be on me. So
let me just say this real quick. I wish that worked in life for me like it did for Jazz. When I tried to hit two against each other, it completely backfired on me. But I'm just throwing it out there. So shout out to Jazz for that. So
that ain't work out the way you thought it was.
Not at all. It was all bad, but.
Oh man!
Story for another day.
That's exactly what happened. I feel as though that she pretty much felt threatened, and she feels as though that she had to do something to try to draw him in a little closer, because he had wandering eyes. And
Crystal said they had already slept together. She said that night they went back to her bungalow. He hit. He probably did. He got that room service.
Yeah. But we didn't see that though. But the writers made sure that we saw that this time, but we didn't see that. So it was kind of like a reason for that now.
Well, I think the reason for them showing it to us was exactly what we're saying, because of the looming threat that my girl gonna get it before I do type situation. So let me go ahead and put this on real quick. Let me show them what this thirsty kitchen working with. And
Thirsty kitchen. Wow. This is yeah. Shout out to Jazz and Hillary, I mean, she got what she needed. So
I'm on this Hennessy, so you don't tell her what's gonna come out my mouth.
Hey, the crazy thing is, Will knew about it.
Oh yeah,
Will was it like
he kept calling. Yeah,
like he called Hillary.
He called her phone first, and she sent him the voicemail.
What y'all feel about that?
Like, listen, I know y'all hooking up. Put my cousin on the phone.
Right.
And what was the whole purpose of that call? Because you didn't see a scene with him and Hillary discussing his next moves with Lisa. That was the whole purpose of him calling, but they didn't show a scene where she was giving him advice on how to win that girl back. So that kind of was like a lost scene. I guess that was just to put it out there that Jazz and Hillary is a couple now.
Yeah, pretty. I can
they
say
messing around. They messing around. They creeping around.
I'm about to say they ain't a couple, but they definitely, messing around.
Hold on a minute. And since you're in the chat, really BTV, I am going to give you your flowers. I have no problems giving anyone their flowers. Y'all always say I be wrong. Y'all don't never want to give me my credit. I'm going to give you yours. You are absolutely right about that credit card bill at that bungalow. Because she said it.
First of all, what you mean we want to give you a credit? Retro, we always give you a credit, bro.
Don't start on me. Don't bring it up. We're not talking about her tonight. We're not doing it.
We always give you a credit, bro. That's neither here nor there.
But we did say last week, and actually, Monday's recap or Tuesday's recap. Yeah. We said that she was probably paying for that 5-star bungalow on her credit card. And so now we see she mentioned that, she got to come up with a plan quick before her family see this credit card bill. So either way, she still got to figure out how to give Kylo that $50K that she owe him.
Definitely.
Yep.
Definitely.
So what do you think is going to happen with Jazz and Hillary? Do you think they're going to,
they're going to fall out?
Yeah, I think they're going to have a fallout too. I think he's going to be tired of being a side piece.
I think they're going to fall out. It's just too many things it's just too many variables in it. Like, for one, it just seemed like Hillary only calls on Jazz when she's vulnerable, like when she needs something. So I think that's going to be number one fallout. It seemed like Jazz got wandering eyes because of said situation. Wandering eyes because of said situation. We're gonna say wandering eyes. I think we're gonna smashing Ivy. I think
Ivy gonna get it too.
I think he's gonna get that way, but how he gets there, I think it's gonna be Jazz is gonna be more into this than Hillary's gonna be into it. Hillary's gonna start focusing on her new stuff with Ivy, and that's gonna be her primary focus. And Jazz is gonna want to get serious, and Hillary gonna keep pushing them to the side.
But I think it's already set in stone. Like, we already saw that. Like, prior to that,
agreement wise,
right?
100%.
I think we already saw that kind of like prior to that. Like, she's way more into what she has going on, and versus anything that Jazz has going on. Like, she only, hey, come help me get my stuff away from Kylo crib, or hey, I roll with you, if you need some problem at the bartering with Kylo, and he rolls out. At some point, he's gonna get tired. He's gonna get tired of it. But eventually, he's gonna end up after
it all paid off for him though. It paid off for Jazz.
Oh, yeah,
everything he did, it paid off. Yeah.
And I think he's gonna end up. I agree with what you're saying, Wise. I think he's gonna end up catching a feeling for Hillary, and she's gonna be so immersed. Yeah, she's gonna be so immersed in trying to get put on that she gonna miss out on a good opportunity. And your homegirl over here, she ain't gonna miss out on that opportunity because she gonna give that man the attention and affection that he not getting from Hillary. And so she gonna end up losing out on a good dude because and I'm not saying that a person should put their career goals and things that are important on them on hold for a relationship. But when you're developing a new relationship with someone, you got to make that person feel like they are important to you. You got to make them feel like they are a part of your life. But you can't just sun them away and think that they're going to just be on the sideline waiting for you to call when you want to hook up.
And the next scene, like, you see Carlton, he chilling in his room, and you see Uncle Phil, he walked through. And, he's talking about this NASCAR event that's going on. What I found particularly interesting about this scene is that Carlton was like, yeah, so what about Will? I found that part particularly interesting about that. So what y'all think about that?
Will could possibly go?
I think that's I think that's like the writer's way of pushing further the agenda of them binding.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think that's like the writer's way of just doing that. But I thought it was a good look.
It almost from what it appears that we're seeing here, it comes in spurts. It comes and goes, ebbs and flows. Because some minute he's comfortable with the wheel dynamic, and then other moments he's uncomfortable with the wheel dynamic. Take for instance the picture, the painting. You could see just a little moment that you could see just a little bit of maybe resentment, maybe a little jealousy. I don't know what it was, but you could see it. Even Ashley saw it because that's why she made the comment. But then in the same breath, like I'm getting used to him being around. He's that brother I've never had. We're starting to work through our differences. So it's kind of a hot and cold type situation. And any little situation can turn it cold with the snap of a finger. But it's also going back to what I'm foreshadowing by the fact that Uncle Phil know that he hadn't spent time with Carlton. He know that Carlton's been going through a lot these last couple of episodes or days or weeks or whatever it is. So this is him taking advantage of an opportunity to spend some time with his son, and I like that. And so hopefully, they hold they got counsel. So I was hoping that in that moment, Uncle Phil would address the anxiety issue that we were talking about Tuesday's recap. Is that at some point his parents are going to have to get involved with his condition. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Xavier's in the chat, so I already know he ain't saying nothing.
Damn.
He cut up. All right.
Damn.
Let me see.
Shit.
Crystal, where are you at? Come get Xavier.
Hilarious.
And I think you're right, Kiwan. I think this is the first time that we've actually seen Carlton and Uncle Phil spend any time together other than that episode they were playing chess. Well, no, there was a couple of them because he caddied for him, but that was kind of like punishment.
But if you see like the smile and the joy on his...
You're muted again, Damon.
I'm not sure why my shit keeps moving.
He's so excited right now to go in. That's why.
Yeah.
I don't even have my phone up there no more. But like you can see the smile and the joy that Carlton has on his face after his dad leaves the room, which shows everything as far as their relationship goes. It just seems like it's been a while, and he's just happy that they got this opportunity. I'm not sure if he said, what about Will to, check the temperature in the room? Like, is Will coming with us? That's cool. And when Uncle Phil was like, well, nah, he ain't coming with us. And he was like, that's even better. But that's just kind of like you can go either way with that. But he definitely has to enjoy that his dad was spending time with him. So I think go ahead, Wes.
I was saying, I think Retro mentioned earlier that jealousy was there. Like he was really, really excited that, hey, it's a one-on-one opportunity with my dad right now. And he felt like he ain't really had a lot of those opportunities recently spent since Will's been there. Right. And I think he asked it like kind of fearful, like, oh, is Will gonna come also? And when he found out it wasn't, it was like, oh, okay. I finally get my turn. So, you kind of felt good for Carlton in that scene, but it's still something that's.
I think it was a good. I think it was a great scene. I think it was a great father and son scene.
Yeah,
I think it was a great father and son scene.
It was something that we needed to see.
The second best one of the episode.
Yeah, and it was something that we needed to see. It was time for us to see him spend some time with his son.
Yep.
So what y'all think about the next scene? Like, I don't know if it was you, Retro, or it might have been really B, where hell, it might have been all of us, where you see they sitting in the kitchen and they all bring up the topic of Jeffrey.
Yep. I think we all kind of hit on that point that the kids were going to figure out that, what's up with Jeffrey is not what their parents is portraying. And, they're having a conversation about Jeffrey, like, Will and Carlton seem to think that he's on a vacation or, have dealing with a family emergency. But Ash was like, nah, y'all ain't woke. I am.
Right.
I went in his room and all his
all his clothes was gone. Everything was gone. Like, that's just...
Like, he don't got
I think we kind of predicted that one, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we
I
predicted
think we
that
kind of saw that one
wholeheartedly.
coming.
Yep. And I
You
think
know
that's
what?
what turned on Carlton's radar, especially when Will's like, well, I may be responsible for it because I asked Jeffrey for help. And I don't know how he knew that Uncle Phil didn't want him to do that, unless Jeffrey must have
But
mentioned
it
it to him.
shows such a role that Jeffrey plays in a life.
Yeah.
You know, beyond just
He's synergy.
yeah, exactly,
He's synergy.
exactly. It shows the role that he played in his life. So then we go further, and I hate to
He's a
say,
Manny. He
I
said,
hate to
"Man,
say
they have no groceries in the house. They looking for Jeffrey for groceries."
I hate to say we see Michael Ealy with his little wine glass and
trench coat.
Vivian.
His
The way
wine glass
Vivian
with his
came off,
trench coat.
Vivian came off thirsty.
I don't think so.
Vivian,
I think she was being more so. What's the word I want to
I
use?
think she came off thirsty, but I could just be looking at it from Michael Ealy's side of the point because
Appreciative. I think she was more so showing gratitude and appreciation because he did.
It wasn't excitement though. It was more like a, you know what you did for me was so great, and it wasn't. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm in this position. And what, like the way she came off was just seemed like it was just more exotic than more appreciative. It was just kind of like, yeah, what you did for me was just, I can never explain it. And I just want to put
I mean, she was unsure. She was unsure. She was unsure of what she was going to ask
she
of
was
him.
on.
If he was
I
going
think
to
she
be
was
down with it.
I agree with that, Wise.
She was
I
right
agree
here in
with
the gray area.
Hold up, though. Like I was telling y'all earlier, I still hate the way this walked into the room. Like that shit was bothering me. Like walked in all slow with his glass. I hate how
I hate it, yo. I hate it.
But I think that's how the character is being written. He's smooth. He's
all the time though.
He's charismatic.
Oh yeah,
you know,
every scene is like this.
He say the right things all the damn time.
Exactly. I think that's how they're writing his character, and I think that's why they wrote the casting him for the character because he does such a good job at just popping in and being that comfort zone for whatever woman is in distress. But I don't think that she's going to succumb to him just yet. I think she will. I don't think, and maybe this is the prelude to that. Maybe that's the prelude to it, that she's going to eventually succumb to him, and that's how we're going to get Baby Nikki. I keep telling y'all.
That's not how we get Baby Nikki. First of all, Baby Nikki was an afterthought. You know what I'm saying? That was a written off character. He was supposed to be a comedic relief that nobody got attached to.
I think what they're showing us, because of the simple fact that, to me, if they don't go this direction, then it's kind of pointless for Uncle Phil to have had that concern about her spending time around Reed. Because when she went up to San Diego or whatever, he followed her up there, and they had words, and you could see she was clearly disturbed by, well, you don't trust me, or why are you coming up here to check this dude, or whatever. I think that's what we're seeing here is going to end up happening. Eventually, she's going to fall. She's going to fall. She's going to slip and fall. And I really think that I don't necessarily think it's going to be an affair. It's going to be a one-time thing. It's going to be a moment of weakness. I think there's going to be conflict between her and Phil eventually regarding the fact that she's away from home so much. He can't manage the household. We're seeing it already. They ain't got no groceries at the house.
He can't.
So
that's why Jeffrey's going to come back.
Actually, he got to deal with a 12-year-old. He got two 17-year-old boys, and Hillary out here thotting herself out on Instagram. He got too much he's going to be dealt with at home. So she's going to be off on all these galleries and all these events. And it's going to create a wedge between their marriage. And she gonna end up, she gonna let Reed taste her thirsty kitchen too.
So what y'all think about? Wow.
Sheesh.
Wow. Wow.
I can't follow that one.
He gonna taste
it. So
I'm telling you.
First of all, you know what? And Vivian definitely have a thirsty kitchen. She probably even worse than Hillary. Who we kidding? She probably worse than fuck At least like Hillary is just selling the fantasy. Vivian is
Bro,
all
she ain't
there,
selling it. She
sharing,
ain't selling
like
it no more.
looking into
She
his
ain't
wine
selling it no more.
glass and looking into his eyes.
It's
Like
available for purchase now.
like,
It ain't, she ain't sold it no more. She gave Jazz a taste of that thirsty kitchen, so she ain't selling it no more.
she is AOL porn right now. Like the way what they're doing is AOL porn. That's what they doing. That's the way that they acting right now. It's just kind of like, I just want to see your painting. And Vivian's like, how much more of my painting you want to see? Like, it's AOL porn right now. Like, I hate it. It's bad. I hate it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
This guy said AOL.
And since Jeffrey's not
AOL
around,
porn. You know how you can be
not around
AOL.
anymore.
Like, do you want to cyber have sex and all this type of shit?
Oh
Like,
my
it's
God.
like that's the way this is now.
Oh
That's
my
exactly
goodness.
what this is. That's exactly what they doing.
And since Jeffrey is not around anymore to eliminate this threat is going to continue to grow into a bigger problem. So it's going to be a problem for the family.
Yes, I hate the whole dialogue between Reed and Vivian just because she was thankful. Like I'm like, whoa, what did we do? I was like, did I just watch porn? I just want to thank you because you just did so much for me. I'm like, what the hell I've been watching here? That's neither here nor there. Whatever. All right, so y'all got me tripping on here.
I can't with you.
You started it. You said that she's worse than Hillary, so you started it. So
I said, go ahead.
All right, so we see the bigger Lou. The bigger Lou, he walks through.
Well,
right?
no,
am I skipping the scene?
Oh no, you going too fast because remember Will was on the phone calling Lisa back to back.
Okay.
Trying to get her to answer his call. He was going to go to basketball practice. And she ends up texting him back, like, look, if you want to talk, meet me at the coffee shop at 3:00 or whatever. He's all excited because he gets his second chance now with Lisa. And Lisa's the love of his life, and I got to have her. And so at that point,
17 and 18 once, I guess.
At that point, he skeet skirt out to go meet up with Lisa, I'm assuming. No, he goes to the basketball practice.
Basketball, whatever.
Yeah. And then you see this other car driving to the driveway. I'm like, damn, these gates don't close automatically.
Hey, that's what I was thinking. I was like, all that money, there's got to be better security than that.
Yeah,
just be able to pull out.
To close.
Yeah, oh boy, just roll in with no issues. I was like, come on, man. But I got it.
This looks like one of those neighborhoods that should be, because we have them here in Georgia, so I know Bel-Air should have them. This needs to be one of those communities where there's a guard shack at the beginning when you first turn into the community. Can I help you?
Got to get approval to get in there.
Yeah. You have to have approval to get in here, a pass or something. What's the secret code? I mean, hell, they have them in Stockbridge, so I know good well they should have them in Bel-Air. That you can't just roll up in a house, a neighborhood that is full of mansions, and just pull up to somebody's house like this. This ain't working.
Right.
So Lou shows up, and Will instantly. Uncle Phil is instantly. He's concerned. Like, why are you here? And
hold on. Real quick though. The whole reveal of Ludo, the way they did it, the behind the shot. I was like, Rachel might have been right. I couldn't tell at first.
I thought it was Will. I was happy it wasn't.
That's exactly what I said. I was like,
fuck, I was happy it wasn't.
Yeah.
I was like, damn it.
I was happy it wasn't.
Well, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with the casting. I'm not happy with the casting. I'm not happy.
You didn't think Marlon did his thing in the casting?
Marlon, like here's the thing.
It could have been anybody else.
Marlon's not a bad actor. He just was bad for this role.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's just bad for this role.
If I was watching a reboot of White Chicks, okay, yeah. But I can't take him serious for a drama. I'm sorry. I cannot take him serious for drama. No. We should have had someone else.
Definitely.
And I don't think that I don't think he played the emotion as someone else who was playing this character would have. Like he did a decent job, but I really expected there to be more tension, At any point in time, I didn't feel like this was serious. I didn't take him serious. I didn't take the things that he was saying serious. I didn't take him as a threat. I didn't take him as anything other than, this is Marlon Wayans. It's like I'm ready for him to crack a joke any moment.
I mean, I
So
looked
the
at it
back and
that way,
forth,
but I don't think to me, when him and Will were going at it and having their conversations, like it felt authentic. I felt like, okay, cool. It's Marlon.
you know
Initially
what?
I'm like, this is
I
Marlon.
felt that too. I
Yeah.
felt that too. I felt like the back and forth between him and Phil didn't really feel authentic.
It
But I
did.
feel like the back and forth between him and Will felt like it was
Now that was
very,
a better
very
scene.
authentic.
I agree with that. Now that was a better scene. That was a better scene. And even the scene with him and Vivian, I didn't really feel like was authentic either. It didn't strike me that the way they played his character, I'm looking for him to be this dangerous threat. I'm looking for this to be some deep, dark secret. It was underplayed for me.
Well, he was a dangerous threat. He was a dangerous threat to Will, because you see how Will reacted when he started talking about his mom. So regardless of whatever they went through, like whatever him and his mom went through, he should have kind of just kept that on the wraps. Like, that's between you and my mom. At this point, you're trying to build a relationship between father and son. So you kind of just should have just left that alone. So I felt as though like that part of their dialogue was warranted, because he like, well, like pretty much he was like, yo, nothing ass mom got me into this position, whatever, and pretty much telling them like, I wish you was never here. Like in a nutshell, like I wish I would have dealt with your mom so you could never been here. So I felt as though that part of it was extremely powerful because of the role or how it related, to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I'm going to touch on that. Yeah. Now that was a powerful scene in the original. I'm going to touch on that when we get to that scene. But it's exactly what we said was going to happen last week. Is exactly what we said. Carlton was ear hustling. He overheard the conversation or whatever, which prompted him to go seek out the envelope that Will had told him about at breakfast that he had gave to his father. So he did exactly what we said he was going to do. I mean, word for word, he did exactly what we said he was going to do. He was going to go tear that office down, find an envelope, read the information, then go tell Will.
Right. We definitely said that.
And maybe there is more. I don't necessarily think that we got the type of a reaction that we were expecting to have gotten from Uncle Phil. Because look at how upset he was with Jeffrey about it. Look how upset he got with Jeffrey just by the mere mention of it when they were doing the boxing, and even when they was in that scene in the office, he fired his best friend over this. So you would expected him to have been more upset that now Lou's on my doorstep and he's within Will's grasp. You would have thought that, Phil would like, get the fuck out of here, don't come in here, get away from here or whatever. He just let him walk right on in. And
yeah, I think there was the way Phil handled Lou. We'll talk about it all when we get to it, but I felt like his whole interaction with Lou, it didn't warrant all the drama he was causing earlier about Will not wanting him. I agree with you on that. And it felt, I don't want to say like he was afraid of him, but something didn't sit right. Like, I didn't feel the aggression and the anger that he really felt like, yo, why are you pulling up at my house? Like, either there was more to it that they haven't gotten into yet, or they just never got to.
That's what we were saying off camera.
Yeah, I was about to say it, Retro. Like, me and you talked about it off camera. Like, it's something else that has to do with the family. That's not enough for y'all to just say because he went to prison. That's not enough. And he's like, well, I didn't want you to see. Like, I'm like, shit, that's every goddamn story that we didn't heard who knows how many times. I don't want you to see me like this, whatever. So I'm gonna wait till I take care of this business, and I want you to see me in better light. We heard this story over and over again. I think what's going to make this story different is going to be something else. Somebody else then did something else in order to make this story particularly different.
I already know what that is. We're gonna talk about that in a second. But it did confirm what I was saying last week. Was I think that Uncle Phil in his private practice was a criminal defense attorney. We learned that he represented Lou. Obviously, he wasn't top tier Davis McClain, Joe Proctor lawyer back then. He wasn't able to get him off them charges. He
Right.
wasn't able to get him out them charges. So, he had to go sit down for a little while. I think he had to go sit down, 13 years, they say? He had to go sit down for a little while and get them charges. So the thing about it is, I feel like Uncle Phil it's just like I felt last week about him conceding. And I know everybody in the comments and on the panel said he had no choice. I get it. But for me, if my shit getting ready to come out, my shit finna come out. I'm not gonna back down. If I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna go to the end. I feel like he backs down too easy. For him to be this rich, affluent, powerful man, he gets backed into a corner just like that, and he just falls back. I wanted to see him handle this situation for his family, handle this situation for Will, but just come back later on. I'm gonna talk to Will about it, and you just come back later on. Like for me, it's no come back later on. I'll come to you. We'll bring Will to you. You don't roll up on my house. I got my family and my kids here. If you really consider this man this big of a threat that y'all say he was, you just let this man just
waltz in here and do whatever and say whatever. I get what you're saying 100% because he shouldn't have been allowed. Even if Jeffrey was there, he would have been allowed on the premises. If Jesse was there, Jeffrey probably cut his water off. Shout out to Ebby. That cut his water off. Like that would have never happened.
Ain't here tonight to give out no disconnection notices, so I'm gonna have to send her a text.
But she'll see the playback. Shout out to Ebby. We had to shut his water off.
Yeah.
But
Carlton, he hiding in the bushes. He pulling a dirty Diana. He hiding in the bushes.
I just think there's so much more to this story because you can't just tell me that we're supposed to just sit back and accept that he was in jail because he was hustling. And and he beat, it was somebody that he beat, the old guy he beat half to death that possibly owed him money, and he was like, "Well, your mom pushed me." Like I'm just not buying that. It's something more to that. It's definitely something more to that. It's no, we gotta get down to the meat and potatoes of it. It's something more to that.
Reaffirming what I felt last week, Will was looking for someone, even if it would have been Jeffrey. He was looking for someone to experience that moment with. He did not want to open that envelope by himself. And the fact that Carlton brought that envelope to him and shared that moment with him, that's what he needed to process that.
Even Jeffrey said it. He was like, you know what? Maybe he just didn't want to open it by himself and deal with whatever is inside of it.
Yeah.
It was a lesson. And that's why I rock with Jeffrey, because Jeffrey was just way more than just a house manager, right? You know what I'm saying? / cleanup guy and hitman. Like, he was giving you life lessons.
Yeah.
And that's why I rock with Jeffrey.
So Vivian and Phil, they having a conversation about this whole situation, and they seem to be unsure of how to address it. Ultimately, Vivian's like, when Will busts in on them, they pretty much leave the decision for him to make for himself. And I think that was the right thing to do. I don't feel like they pushed the narrative for him not to meet him, and I don't feel like they pushed the narrative for him to meet him. So I think they truly did give him the ability to make that decision for himself.
I mean, they were undetermined. They kept going back and forth, weighing the pros and cons. But it was Carlton. Carlton went up there, got Will. Hey, Will, I gotta tell you something. Will's getting ready to go meet Lisa. He's like, "Yo, your dad was here. Look at this envelope." I mean, Carlton blew up the spot. That's what Carlton did. He blew up the spot and was like, "Yo, you need to know this information. I didn't already looked at it. Here it goes."
He pulled a Diana.
Right. And that sent Will into that room.
First of all, nobody pulled a dirty Diana.
Uncle Phil.
Carlton was hiding in the bushes. He pulled a dirty Diana.
He liked to hide up high, though. He liked to hide up high. So he blew up the spot, and Will just set Will off because he walked up in that room and he kind of went in. And I'll say this. there were times in the
I guess
episode.
Q1. I guess we can turn Carlton Water back on. We can restore his services.
Oh yeah, you got to. You got to.
I
I
guess.
don't know about everybody
The
else.
I don't know
image
about
restore.
Ebby, she don't turn water back on.
Once it's cut off, it's cut off.
Later on,
Yeah.
I'm cool with restoring his services.
Yeah, he's the MVP for this episode. Carlton's
Yeah.
MVP.
Empathy, sympathy, he showed all that. So
Yeah. So Will, what does Will? He goes to call his mom, right? Don't he go call his mama?
yeah, he definitely go call his mom. You know what? No. He called his mom after him and Lou had a conversation, right?
Mm-mm.
So
No, he called when they found out that Lou was here.
Yeah.
oh yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. He did call after he found out that Lou was there. And his mom was pretty much just like, you know, there's a reason behind this. She never really explains the reason, but she was like, I wanted to be the one that explained this to you. You know, and Will at this point, he's distraught. He was like, well, why nobody never had this conversation with me? Y'all make it seem like he's this bad guy or this, and another, whatever. He never was given the opportunity out of jail like I was given the opportunity, right? So now he's all over the place. He's just like, well, I got a second chance. Why he couldn't get a second chance? Why didn't you tell me this shit? That's some bullshit. You make him seem like he's a big bad wolf. What the hell's going on with that? What y'all feel about? That's what makes you know what? This will make me feel like it's further something beyond what they're revealing to us right now. It has to be, right?
Well,
Gotta be.
even after well, let's just go ahead and jump to the chase, because there's really not much left in this episode other than this. Will decides to meet his father. Okay, that's great. That's wonderful. And it starts off kind of, you know, both of them are uncomfortable with each other, and that's to be expected. And, you know, they actually have a moment where he tells Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv, look, let me handle this on my own. They go away. Vivian, prior to that, had already threatened Lou that, yo, if you hurt this boy, I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to do that. You're going to see the Philly side of me come out, you know, whatever. And she basically tells Lou what to say. She's like, listen, tell this boy that you thought about him every day, that you was gone. You were the best thing that happened to him and all this good stuff. And, you know, for a moment, Lou led with that. He led with that. You know, I thought about you all the time and this and that. It wasn't until they got on the subject of his mom, Will's mom, that things started to go south. Because Will asked that question, and Lou basically was like, listen, you heard one side of the story, but you haven't heard the second side of the story. You know, he's trying to tell his side of the story, but because he started making little disparaging remarks towards Will, mom,
Disrespectful. Yes.
Disrespectful.
Yes.
He wasn't feeling that because he had the opportunity to tell his side. He had the opportunity to tell his side. It wasn't until he started crossing, you know, over the line with the comments, like, the worst thing that ever happened to me, I met your mom and this and that. She had me in these streets. Like, she put the battery in my back. That's what the secret is. The secret is he was out here hustling because he had a Tasha St. Patrick. He had a Tasha St. Patrick. Basically, all you good for is run the streets. So
let me say this real quick. Let me say this real quick about that whole scene. Jabari Banks acted his ass off in that scene right there.
Yes, he
like,
did.
I gotta give him his flowers for that. He acted his ass off with the emotions. Because honestly, I was feeling it. I was like, you were talking about my mom, like that. We dudes, we know how that feels. Somebody talking about your parent like that. You go
regardless. I don't care who you are, father or not. Like, you talking about your mom, it's just like, as men, we just gotta like wild out, like.
Yes,
hey, hold on, bro.
And that's exactly what he did. He cussed him out, wild out. He bowed up at him.
Yes, he acted his ass off on that scene, and the cold part.
I think Lou about to get Will to business.
Yeah, Lou choked him out.
Grabbed him up. Yeah, he grabbed him up. But I think Will was with it. I think Will wanted all the smoke. He probably was like,
no
We can
doubt.
shoot this
Will,
fade. We can shoot
Oh
this
Lord,
fade
he
right
coming
here,
at me.
right now.
They go at me.
it was how many bitch niggas he called him? Like he called him that like how many times?
Oh
Quite
man,
a
she
few.
ain't watched the episode yet. Dang it.
I'll say this though. Also, this I was gonna say it earlier, but I want to get to this part of the show first. While Uncle Phil disappointed me because when he came in there to break that up,
Yeah.
it was real soft. We
Yo,
need
I thought
a
he
Yamaha.
was going screw. I thought he was going to bark on.
Yeah,
I thought he was gonna do
he should have been
something.
throwing some hands.
I thought he was going to mush him. I thought he was going to
He
punch
didn't
him in
do none
the
of that.
face.
None of
He
that.
gonna
None
keep
of
that.
that.
He gonna tell him to get the fuck
We
out
need
his
a
house. Like I
Yamaha,
thought he was
not
gonna be
Uncle
like.
Phil.
I thought he would be like, "Yo, you met him, and he ain't like it. Now get the fuck out my house." Like I thought it would be one of them.
To me, what that told me right there is Uncle Phil ain't about that life. That's why he had Jeffrey. Like before, at least it seemed like Uncle Phil might have been,
You're right. Yeah, that's exactly
he might have been about that life.
When he went to go put his hands around on Will's neck,
Yeah.
they all were gonna jump his ass. That's what I wanted.
It's over at that point. You know what I'm saying, right?
Vivian talking about she got all the smoke. I wanted to see them all throw hands.
I thought Vivian would hit him with some artwork or something.
Yeah.
Like, bitch,
artwork.
hold on. What the fuck we talking about here, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on, bitch. Like, pick up one of them fucking paintings and go across his dome with it. You know, that's what I thought. Where the West Philly at? You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that's what I thought it was gonna go to that point. But it was kind of like it was like a casual conversation. Let me get this straight. You socked Jeffrey because you felt as though he was being insubordinate. But this man walked up in here and choked and yoked your nephew up. Nah, son.
That's what I wanted to see.
Yeah.
I wanted to see that. I guess one more thing we could talk about before we wrap up. We skipped out on the Ivy and Hillary scene when she was at the photo shoot or whatever. So Hillary is now finessed Ivy into buying out the influencer house. So subsequently buys out her contract with Kylo. I feel like this is a problem that's getting ready to happen. Another problem for her that's getting ready to happen. You can't do business like that with friends. You talking about that kind of money. It might work, but something ain't gonna work out. She thinks she in bad shape now. She really finna be in bad shape now because she's doing business with a friend.
It was a complete finesse job. Who we kidding? It's a complete finesse job.
So, and we still don't even know if Ivy's really gonna do it because she was hesitant. Like she was like, I'm gonna talk to my
let me talk to my accountant.
My accountant check the money.
But this is what you're doing. You tipping your hand, and see when you in business, you don't tip your hand. You don't let benefactor know what your troubles were with your current situation. So you let your new benefactor know that one, I didn't read this contract.
Now she got you on the string.
Two, I don't got this $50K to buy this contract out.
You on the string.
You hanging on the string. So now that girl gonna go buy that house, but you're gonna be in worse shape. Now you thought you had to what's his name, $50K. You gonna owe her ass $100,000 to get up out of that contract. It ain't gonna work the way she think it's gonna work. Why? Because you're too loose at the lips. You sat there and told that girl all the situation about, and this is a friend that you ain't seen in a minute. No, we're gonna take baby.
They're all telling her dad that situation.
Exactly. Go.
I don't understand. Like
can help you.
I get.
Why did you ask your dad to buy the influencer house? Why did you ask your dad to buy the influencer?
I'm not gonna say I don't understand it because when it come down to confidentiality, especially what she was up against, and our whole "I told you so" speech, she probably rather go this angle.
Didn't have to deal with her parents.
Exactly. So I can't say that.
I get that. But she's also daddy's honeybee. She's daddy's little honeybee. So she could have finessed her father into buying the influencer house for her. And it could have been her own thing. But now you up under somebody else's shoe. You're going to let somebody else step on your neck because a friend, I don't mean this the way it's going to sound. A friend ain't always a friend. And especially that girl money hungry and she looking for notoriety and clout. If she know that y'all got money, she gonna run your pockets. What?
Especially with what they're doing, that influencer stuff, because it's gonna get to her. And the cold part
Ain't
about
no
all of
friends in
that
that kind of business, right? Ain't no friends in that kind of
facts.
business. Everybody trying to get put on.
And what sucked is Jazz actually gave her good game. He was like, "Look, you know,
Several
you got
times.
me at the record store. You got me blowing up. You help with the promotional." He put her in the right path. Like I think, okay, maybe she has a better call than just being in front of the camera, and she could do some other stuff. How
behind the
she's
scenes,
approaching it,
right?
yeah, how she's approaching it
Right.
and what she's giving out, it's going, and that might cause a rift between her and Jazz also.
Yep.
But he's given
That
her
might be
good
what it
game.
is right there,
Yeah.
Miles. You're right.
So we'll
I
see.
definitely
But
feel like that because you know what? Some people are not always. I mean, she's got the notoriety because she got money, and you know she living a high life, so that's going to easily draw in attention or whatever the case may be. But for her to be on a level like this girl is with 3 million followers or whatever, how many followers she had, um, you know, she's going to have to be committed to this brand 24/7, night and day. And sometimes when you are here chasing fame, you have to turn into something that you're not comfortable with being to maintain what you started. And so she started this thing. It's just like Ivy was telling her, you started this thing with this thirsty chef, and now we're gonna have to work overtime to get that image disconnected from you and to rebrand you and give you another image. But she got good advice for behind the scenes. So you know, maybe you need to be more on the technical side of things instead of on the forefront of it. But what's gonna happen? That girl gonna go in there and buy that contract, and she's gonna run your pockets. And you ain't gonna have no choice but to go to your dad, which you should have been done already. So all roads are gonna lead back to her having to go to her father for help. Overall, I think the season was great. We had some really good episodes. We had some really good storytelling. I feel like we had a few gaps in some of the continuity, but for the most part, um, it was a good. I wasn't too excited about the season finale though. I wasn't. I wasn't feeling the season finale. This could have been a great episode 9 and led into a bigger blow up between. What should have happened was this should have been episode 9. Episode 10 is when Will's mom should have came out, and then she confronted Lou, and then all the dirt came out, and then Will runs away. We forgot to talk about that part that Will decides
he's
run
gone.
away
Yeah.
like a 15-year-old. And I thought it was dope that Carlton dropped them bands in his pocket when he was helping them to go out the door. He dropped some money in his pocket,
and you realize how much Carlton
depending on
needs Will.
Yes.
Like you realize how much Carlton needs Will. I thought that was dope too. I thought that was like,
and he acknowledges it.
That was
like
like
in a selfish way. He acknowledges it. Yeah.
And sometimes
yeah, like he needs
where people need
he's just kind of like his therapist. He's his couch session, right? So he could just be like, well, you know what? You don't need to do that. He's the good Kermit. You know, you got the good Kermit, you got the evil Kermit with the hoodie on. Will's the good Kermit to Carlton. To, you know, but like, yo, you don't need none of that. All you need is me, you know, and we good. So
it reminds me much of a Ghost and Tommy situation because Ghost told Tommy one time, you need me even if that means for you to hate me. You need me. You need me around for your own emotional stability. And I think that's what Carlton has started to depend on Will for. Like he's a processing center for Will, for Carlton. So whatever he's going through, you know, he can be his 100%.
He don't have to carry it on his own.
Yep.
Right? And he don't have to carry it his own. Like he's like now you have somebody else to lean on. You have a crutch now. So you don't have to do everything by yourself. It feels as though you got to be held to the standard on your own because now I'm this voice to tell you like, no, we good. Everything is okay. You know, and like you can see that when he goes over to Lisa's house and he's like, yo, I don't need to, not only do I need to find him because I need to find him, but I need to find him for my well-being too. To make sure that I'm okay. Like he has my back. Like he never left me out there high and dry. I'm not gonna leave him out there high and dry. And Carlton shows that he needs that.
Marvin,
what's up, man?
What's good?
What's good, family? What's good? How y'all doing?
Well, tell us what you thought about this episode. We were just getting ready to wrap up.
First off, I would say Marlon Wayans, really.
That's why he's my brother.
Marlon Wayans, really. You know,
It wasn't that bad. Like
I
it
mean,
wasn't that bad.
I mean, like the thing, being totally honest, it's like that took a actor of serious role, and Marlon Wayans, I just couldn't get into the vibe of really taking him serious. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't really. First off, let me just say this: they didn't give him really a script. He said maybe a handful of words. You know what I'm saying?
Not a handful of words.
Like a handful. And then it's like, you
Not
know,
a handful of words.
you get this whole little thing going on, and you like, man, you start blaming the man mama. Like, it wasn't catch up. It was basically like, yeah, I'm about to point the finger at all the people on why, you know, basically I wasn't around. This is the reason why. But I was in jail. Never say you know what I'm saying? Never say, hey, let's just not worry about the past. If we're gonna build something, let's start by building something now. I don't really know you. You know what I'm saying? Let's just start from now. Forget everything else. Start from now. That's it. That's all. You know, I'm really getting frustrated with Beulah. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting frustrated with her.
Beulah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? No time, no no taking out the time to call Will and say, hey, you good, you know, anything like that. It took Carlton, basically, she, you know, about to snap off. It took Carlton to say, hey, he met with his dad today.
She was gonna jump to conclusions
Right.
again.
Basically
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, he sent me
Jump
off.
to conclusions again. Yep.
Yep, he sent
We
me
didn't even
off.
get into that part. That is exactly what she was about to do.
Yeah, she was
She
definitely
mad
about
he
to
didn't
jump
show
to
up.
conclusions, man.
Yeah.
And that wasn't it, man. That wasn't it.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? I think personally that overall, like the episode, most definitely liked it. I mean, I had a soft spot in my heart last night watching it for Carlton. You know what I'm saying? He actually showed his true feelings on how he feel about Will. And
All right.
I mean, I think over the last few episodes of us seeing like Will looking out for him with the whole drug addiction and, you know, telling him he gonna be there for him. I think personally that meant a lot to Carlton. You know what I'm saying? And it really just, hey, my cousin's not really a bad person. And, you know, he basically let it, you know what I'm saying, let his feelings out like, hey man, that's my cousin. I need your help. I really need to find him. This is bothering me. So
Right.
overall, good episode. Marlon
What do you
Wayans.
think about the scene with Jazz and Will?
I think Jazz put some straightening on him, man.
He tried, but you know, Will's just so hot-headed. Will's just so, you know, when he's angry, he just can't see past the red zone. And you know, you got a good friend here, your cousin,
Yeah.
and you got a good family. So I could see if this was a situation where you came from a broken household and you came from a broken family, and these people have just been mistreating you and whatever, but you ran away from a mansion. You ran away from a mansion. You're 17 years old. You ain't had your dad in your life all this time. I understand that's an emotional situation. I have a strained relationship with my father, so I understand what that feels like. But at the same time, you also have a replacement for that. You have an uncle that love and care for you, like
Right.
you got an aunt, you got your mother, you got cousins that are like siblings to you. You're not missing out on love. You're not missing out on love. Now, if you was a broken individual and didn't have nobody in your life to love you, then I can understand that. But you know, and I understand you're reacting to the heat of the moment and you're reacting out of anger. But my question is, do you think he's going to stay gone? Is this a situation where he's going to go sleep on Jazz's couch now? Or is this how he gets moved into the pool house? I mean, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think he's going to go back home? Do you think they're going to find him?
No, I think you just hit the nail on the head saying the pool house.
You know, I mentioned that earlier.
I think you hit the nail on the head with with the pool house. I was kind of laughing last night when you said when you mentioned about the credit card, because that popped up with her running up
Yeah.
running it up,
We
running
didn't
up
talk about that. She wrote up
flag,
that bill. Yeah.
that 5-star hotel. So
Yeah.
yeah, I kind of laughed at that. Like, wow, they hitting it on the
That's
head.
what I said. We predicted this entire. I guess that's another reason why I didn't care for the episode as much, because we
Yeah.
predicted everything that was going to happen. We knew that Carlton was going to find the paperwork. We knew that Will's father was going to show up. We knew that the mom had something to do with why Will's father. Well, we found out that the mom had something to do with Will's father running the streets, whatever. She put a Tasha St. Patrick battery in his back.
She slipped that bug in his ear, man.
Yeah.
Charge that battery up.
He had fully charged, get out here and run these streets. So we found out that Uncle Phil did defend him, and I guess he didn't do such a good job with getting him charges. Judge didn't wipe that case away. So I think season 2, what do you think is going to happen in season 2?
I think the exposure of why Jeffrey left, you know what I'm saying? The kids already know. I think Uncle Phil
confronted them about that at the end of the episode too.
Yeah, I think he gonna have to come to grips on reality of the truth.
Another thing we didn't talk about is Carlton. This is the second time Carlton has kind of felt a vibe or felt a way about his father not being honest with him. Because when he asked his father what happened to Jeffrey, and his flat out, bold face to my face response was, "I don't know."
That's a good.
Carlton storms off, and then Ashley, like, we know what happened to Jeffrey. Like, we know what's up.
That's a good theory there, Xavier. He said, I think Uncle Phil took the case and then threw it so Luke could go to jail.
Hey, that's a good one.
I can see that. I can see that.
I can see that. I also see.
I never thought about it like that.
I also see them having him dead to rights. You know what I'm saying? I also see them having enough evidence to put him away, and him feeling bad about Lou going to jail, even though he did wrong. He wanted to, kind of make sure Will didn't suffer the same fate. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they touched on the fact that Lou's father had went to jail, and did they say he died in prison or something?
Yep.
Something to that effect. And that they didn't want Will to experience that same thing, seeing his father behind a jail cell. I've never been in a situation like that, so I don't know, how I would have felt. But I think it's important for a child to have access to both of their parents if they're living and willing. Now if he was unwilling to want to be in Will's life, then don't force something to happen. But if the man locked up and he's still willing to know his child, he shouldn't have been denied that opportunity. So that's where I feel like they were wrong. But at the same time, if this man, and I think what has happened is, while Lou is so upset, is they have perpetuated him to be this bad, hardcore criminal, when your sister-in-law and your sister, is provoking me to run these streets. I get caught up in some shit, and everybody kicked me to the curb. I'm the bad guy. But everybody also knew I was out here in these streets and why I was in these streets. So,
but I mean, he didn't really prove him wrong though, because I mean, when he bucked up at Will, like you could see, like he was in there for the assault charge, right?
Yep.
His whole attitude, how he handled Will,
assault.
I can see him popping off on somebody. Right? He choked his own son out. Like he tried to play the I'm changed. I'm a changed dude. Yeah, he went back to his old self.
And remember, he did go back to his old self because he had said earlier, "I'm not that same guy anymore. I'm in a church now, and my pastor had to pay for my plane ticket, and I'm scraping and scratching to get by." But he turned back to them streets real quick.
Exactly.
But it goes back to what we were saying earlier about disrespect. When that button is hit, sometimes we lose sight of who's who. And anybody can get it.
That's a fact.
That's what's been happening.
Anybody can get it.
Yeah. So
that's a fact. That's definitely facts. I think it was overall, like I said, a good episode. You know what I'm saying? I think that the next episode is this the final one?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was the season finale. Yeah.
it's a wrap.
Okay. I'm thinking it's gonna be a lot of basically ain't gonna be no more lying, man. Everybody finna get aired out. They're gonna have to air out everything, man. Because right
Yeah.
Oh,
now
they're gonna go power.
like
They're gonna go power on them,
it's
huh?
it's no trust.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna air out everything now.
Which Will said he can't trust them no more. He said,
Yeah.
I can't trust y'all no more. I
But it's
think
not just them.
Air
It's,
it all out.
it's,
I
it's
think
your
he's
mama
gonna come
too.
back.
It's your
Yeah.
mama. Your mama ain't an innocent party in this. You mad at your aunt and uncle, but it's really not their story to tell. It's
But
really
it's
not
it.
their story to tell. And I
Exactly.
wish that they would have had that conversation with Will when he stormed in on them. Like, listen, I understand you upset with us about this, but this ain't our story to tell. This is your mama's story to tell. This is her responsibility, So it ain't our place to necessarily inform you of something that your mama should be doing, because you're not putting us in a tight spot because your mom is the one that's harboring the secret. We're just supporting her, but at the same time, he mad at the whole family, and the whole family is not responsible for your father being in jail.
Right.
Your uncle tried to get him off, so I go back and forth with that a little bit. All right, so I guess we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up for the night. I do got a couple of announcements, a little housekeeping before we go. We got a couple
One
of new
second. Let me say
things.
one thing.
Go ahead, bro.
I think going into season 2, Jeffrey is gonna be the one that finds Will, or Will is going to Jeffrey. I think that's how Jeffrey gets back to the house.
Hey, listen.
They
Do you
gonna
think
bring-
Jeffrey's still in Bel-Air,
Yes.
or did he go back to?
Yeah,
I
he
think
ain't
he's still
left.
somewhere around. He's still around.
Jeffrey around.
He's around. And I think
So
Will's
what?
either gonna call him.
He might be peeping the situation from afar. We
Right,
may think
from
he
a-
gone, but he's
he's
still
not.
looming. Okay, I
Yeah.
like that, Wise.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point. All right, so a couple things. So we're going with the panel. We're gonna be working on some new content for you guys. So we're gonna be doing some fragrance reviews. So that's gonna be something new for the channel. So y'all can check us out. We're gonna start doing some beat tutorials and let y'all know some of the stuff that we do on the music side. We're also gonna be doing some Duro sneaker reviews. Speaking of which, I did do my shoe for today. Yep.
Oh, geez, send me those. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I knew that's what you had on anyway.
Yeah, I had to make a grocery store run, so I threw these on. Man.
All right.
So we're gonna be doing some Duro sneaker reviews. So check that out. On April the 23rd, we're gonna have DJ Fresh Johannes. He's part of the fam. He's gonna be on here. We're gonna do a live set. So we're gonna sit back. We're gonna drink. We're gonna have a good time, and we're gonna cut up in the chat with all y'all. A lot of times when we doing these shows, we don't really get to fully engage with you guys a lot in the chat. We try to because y'all a whole vibe, and we really enjoy y'all. So we got a lot of stuff that is going to be coming to the channel. I'm gonna try to get these boys on here to start reviewing Top Boy with me. I just started watching that last weekend. It's got me intrigued. So we're gonna just be coming up with some new content. We're gonna try to get Wise on here with these Duro sneaker reviews. Maybe we can do a three-peat. Because I see a bunch in the background that we have, Marvin. So we can do it. I see a bunch in the background.
Bro got some bangers, man.
Yeah, he got some bangers sitting up over there.
He got some bangers. We can make it. We can make something happen.
All right. As always, fellas, tell them where to find you guys at on social media.
Go ahead, Wise.
Oh, you can find me at the Y Soul, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I'll be doing some NBA playoff and stuff coming up on YouTube soon. I'm gonna get back up on there, get the channel back going. I'm gonna have a live. We're gonna go into the playoffs, talk some sports. So sneakers and sports is what I do. So find me there.
All right, we're gonna come over there and check you out.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
Marvel.
Y'all already know, man. Juggernaut _of _souls on IG. Juggernaut of Souls on Twitter. Juggernaut of Souls on YouTube. And man, I got videos already edited, uploaded. Man, I gotta drop them. I've been busy at work. And I'm gonna start throwing y'all some of these hat reviews too, man, as well. Cause I definitely got I definitely got some fitteds, man. I definitely got some fitteds, and we're gonna start putting the fitteds with the kicks and putting it all out there in the atmosphere, man, showing y'all what we working with. And y'all already know TSF brand, man.
Man, we got so much we're gonna be working on. We're gonna be doing the Sense and Kicks. You know, me and Really Beat TV, we're gonna do our true crime. I mean, we got a lot of new stuff that's coming at you guys. So we appreciate all y'all coming around. You know, you can find me on Instagram at RetroCG. You can follow our page, TSF Entertainment, on Instagram, and the So Far Music Group on YouTube. So with that, we out, y'all.